Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Alex, and in today's video I'm gonna be taking you guys on a short hike and showing you my new Canon R7. So I recently purchased this camera. I mainly wanted it for wildlife photography. I also do quite a bit of sports photography, more specifically soccer. And I heard that it's a pretty good camera for that. So that is the reason why I purchased this. Today I have it here paired with a Tamron 100-400. I have actually done another video here in this park actually, showing you my Canon R6 with this lens. So in today's video, we're gonna see how the lens performs with the Canon R7. So I'm gonna take you guys on this short hike. I'm gonna be walking around looking for birds or any other type of wildlife that I can photograph. And I'm gonna show you guys the pictures on the screen. And maybe at the end, we're gonna do a quick sit down section on this video where I talk about the specs, what I like and what I don't like. So without further ado, let's get started with this short hike. I actually see a lot of birds around here already, so I think it's gonna be a good day. This is a really pretty park that I always enjoy coming to. It has a nice little creek that passes by the trail, and I think that attracts a lot of different kinds of birds. There's a lot of little ones around here right now. I've seen a few hawks here before, and the other time I saw an owl. So hopefully we are running with a little bit of luck and we're able to see something different today. I will be happy if I also see a pileated woodpecker. I think that's what they're called. Those are some beautiful birds and I would love to photograph one of those. But let's keep walking down this way and let's see what we find. I actually see a cardinal already. So I'm gonna put you guys down somewhere over here. So I have the camera on animal autofocus and I'm shooting this lens right now at 400 millimeters. You know, it's having a hard time. I have the whole screen, the whole area autofocus. So I'm gonna change the spot autofocus and see how that one performs, because on the whole area was not focusing where I wanted to. Okay, there we go. Oh, beautiful bird. Okay, I got the cardinal. I think I saw another one, a different bird around here. Maybe they're down on this side. Okay, I see it. So I've gotten a couple good pictures already. We're gonna keep walking down this way. There's a lot of activity here, so it seems like I chose a good spot this time. There's a hawk resting on one of those branches over there. Or I'm gonna shoot it from all the way over here. Let's see how good the reach on this lens is. Oh, beautiful. That's a beautiful bird. I'm gonna try to get a little closer to it. The autofocus tracking goes straight to its head. I'm shooting at 6.3 ISO 200, shutter speed 1/640. I'm gonna try to get as close as I can. I already got the shots I wanted. I think this is the closest that I've ever gotten to one of these when I have my camera on me. That's a. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful bird. One of my favorite birds.
I saw it. Have you not been standing? You have a good day.
You too. Seems like I'm not the only one that admires these beautiful birds. It's probably too cold to move. All right, we're gonna keep walking down this trail here, see what else we find. Actually, I'm gonna get a picture from back here. I'm gonna get him from all angles. I always have good luck with finding blue herons around this area here. I don't see any right now. We're gonna keep walking down that way. maybe we can find one over there. So I guess as we're walking down this trail here, let me talk to you guys a little bit about why I purchased this Canon R7 when I already have the Canon R6. Before owning this Canon R7, I had bought a Canon TAI, and although it was a good camera, the quality was pretty good, I did not like the autofocus, and I tend to shoot quite a bit of sports during the summer, and that wasn't quite cutting it for me. So I decided to find a better camera for that, and that is when I found out about the Canon R7. I love this camera because it has the dual SD card slot. It also has 32.5 megapixels, which means that it allows me to crop a little bit more, something that I could do with the Canon R6, but it's a bit more difficult due to the low megapixel count and the fact that it is a crop sensor body. It increases the reach of lenses like this 100 to 400. So in this Canon R7, this Tamron 100 to 400 turns into a 160 to 640, which gives you a lot longer reach than the full frame equivalent of 100 to 400. So that is another big reason why I purchased this camera. And I've only had it for a couple of days, but to be honest with you, I really love it so far. I've gotten some really good images with it. I took it out yesterday, but unfortunately I couldn't make the video that I wanted because I forgot the extra batteries on this DJI Osmo Action, which is the camera that I am recording. I have other cameras that I can record with, but I like this one because it's very lightweight and very small. All right, I see another bird over here. Let's see if we can photograph it. Okay, there's a couple of them resting on that branch right there. I see them now. Nice. This autofocus, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. It does sometimes loses the bird, especially when there's a couple branches in front of it. It focuses on the branches instead. But I have no big complaints about it. All right. Oh, there's actually another one down on this side. And I pretty much always shoot at the full 400 millimeter focal length, which again in this camera is equal to 640 millimeters. One thing I've noticed, and I don't know if I should blame it on the lens, is that when I use the full focal length of this lens on an object that's very far away, I do get a little bit of haze, which is weird because when I'm using it on an object that's not too far and I'm shooting at the full 400 millimeters, I don't get that haze. So it might be due to the environment, it might have nothing to do with the lens, but I do want to throw that out there. I see a couple robins down there, and there's a squirrel on this one here. We'll take a picture of the robins, and then we're gonna try to find the squirrel again because he went inside those bushes right there. Oh, there's another bird over here. Wow, there's quite a variety of birds around here today. Nice. There's one super close to me right now, and I'm having a blast photographing it. Oh, I left. I need to do better research finding the names of the species of a lot of these birds, because I come out here and I photograph them, but I don't know the names of the species that I'm photographing. Oh, there's a couple of tiny woodpeckers over here. Let's see if we can get them. And by the way, I am shooting on that camera from a low angle because it's easier for me. I just grab and go. Oh, they flew away. Okay, they're pretty far, but let's try to get them. Okay, I got them. My plan was to go in those woods, but I think I'm having some good luck here finding birds. So I don't know if I'm gonna need to go in there. We'll see. We'll keep walking down this way, and we'll see what happens. I'm overwhelmed right now. There's so much activity around me. I hear something up there. I hear something down here. I hear something way over there, which I think it's a palliated woodpecker because it sounded. You hear that? Right, we're gonna actually walk down that way because I love those birds. And I'd rather photograph one of those since we can always come back down this way. Oh, there's another cardinal. All right, let's go down that way. I hear the woodpecker down that way now, but we'll go in here. All right, I've come into the woods now, and I don't see that much activity here. You know, I think I'm gonna head back. There's not that much activity here. It all died down. I think it's due to the fact that we have the creek down that way, and birds drink water around there, so that's why they might like that area more. Yeah, you don't even hear them here anymore, and I'm getting kind of tired. Let's go up this little ramp here. Hopefully I don't fall. I don't see that much activity around here, and I don't even hear any birds around me anymore. So I think we're gonna head back down that way. But now, since we're here in this location, it's pretty cool. I did wanted to talk about the ISO performance that you get on the Canon R7. I haven't really pushed this camera that much when it comes to ISO, so I'm gonna do a little test here. I'm just trying to find something to photograph, because one of the things that you lose or you decrease when you move in from a full frame camera to a crop sensor camera, it's some of the ISO performance, some of that low light performance. So in this camera, you will get grain on your photos way before you do on a full frame camera. So the furthest that I've pushed the ISO on this camera so far, I think it's 1600. So I'm gonna increase the ISO right now to 3200, and we're gonna test the noise performance, and I'm gonna keep this lens at 100 millimeters. Okay, so that was a shot at actually 4000 ISO, 1/8000, and f-stop at 6.3. All right, I'm back out now, and I can see some birds already. Oh, there's one in there. We're gonna go to the side of the creek now. I almost got attacked by a dog. That's one of my fears in life. Oh, I see those birds again. There's a tiny woodpecker in there. Oh, this would be a good opportunity to test the ISO on this again. Shooting at 4000 ISO. Shutter speed 1/1600. There are some of those tiny birds here. Oh, nice. There's some activity on the other side. Let's see how this lens does a little bit further away. You know, one thing I've noticed about this camera's EVF, I think it's a little bit lower quality than the Canon R6, because you see a little bit of blurriness. I don't know how to explain it. It seems as if the resolution is not as high. There's a tiny bird going into a cave. You know what? I think I'm gonna sit here for a little, just enjoy the scenery and let these birds come to me. All right, so I have been sitting here for the last 30 minutes and enjoying this beautiful scenery. And as I was sitting here, I had a couple of birds that came by and decided to stop near me, and I grabbed my Canon R7 Tamron 100-400 and decided to snap a couple of more photos. So here are those photos right now, so you guys can take a look. And now I just wanted to do this final section on this video. I don't think I'm gonna hike anymore. I think we already got enough content for this video. If I do see the blue heron as I walk down back to my car, then I'm gonna post a picture here at the end. But right now I'm actually recording with the Canon R7, and I wanted to give you guys an idea of the video quality that you get with this camera. In fact, video played a big role in me choosing this camera as well. As you already know, I have the Canon R6, and when it comes to video with the Canon R6, if you're trying to do 4K long form video, then you're gonna run into some overheating issues, and that's something that I never liked about the Canon R6. I couldn't set my camera out like this and do long form content like the one I'm doing right now, because I would run into the overheating issue. And that mainly happened with 4K video, but still nowadays I feel like a lot of the video being uploaded online is transitioning into 4K video. So that's not a sustainable camera in order to create this type of content like this. So I did some research and I found out that the Canon R7 didn't really run into that issue much, and that's the reason why I decided to buy it. And I tested it yesterday for about 45 minutes and I did not run into that issue, so that is a big plus. So as far as the video specs, you can record 24 frames per second, 4K, Full HD, and anything below that. And also you can record up to, well, the next step will be 60 frames per second, which this camera also does, and then 120 frames per second if you like to get that really smooth slow motion footage. But when it comes to 120 frames per second, you can only do it at Full HD. So there's no 4K option, I believe, on this camera when it comes to 120 frames per second. But it's still an amazing camera. The autofocus on video works perfectly. I have not had any issues with that so far. And again, I've only had this camera for a couple of days. I don't know if I'm gonna run into issues later in the future with it. So that's what I like about the video on this camera, and that played a big role in me choosing this camera as well, other than the sports photography and the wildlife photography options that I also love to do. So now just to touch on briefly on things that I don't really like that much, and this is a personal choice, I believe, because I love my Canon R6 and I have gotten myself used to the dials and the buttons on it. But when it comes to this camera, they changed a couple of buttons, and I think it'll take me a little while for me to get used to. One of them is the quick mode dial. They moved it to the top section of this camera on the Canon R7, unlike the Canon R6 that they placed it on the right bottom corner, and it was easy for me to get to it with my thumb in order to switch the ISO levels on the camera. With this camera, I haven't yet set the custom buttons, but it takes me a couple extra steps in order to get to the ISO. I have to touch the screen and set it manually on the screen. That's not really a big deal. It's just a minor inconvenience that I personally have with it. Another thing that I don't like about it is that it is a little small. It's smaller than the Canon R6. I wish it was a little bigger. Although my hands are not that big, I can still fully grip on the camera, but it doesn't feel as stable as the Canon R6. So as far as my little inconveniences, those are the ones that I can think of the top of my head so far. But other than that, this is a great camera. I highly recommend it for anyone starting or getting into photography, or someone that's already at an intermediate level. I am planning on using this camera for wedding videos. I've gotten to do a couple of gigs when it comes to wedding videos, so I'm planning on testing it out that way here in the future, and I know it won't let me down. Some other plans that I have for this camera is to have it as a second body for the weddings that I shoot. I know that crop sensor is not ideal when it comes to photographing weddings, but I have some fast lenses that I'm thinking of pairing with this camera when it comes to that, and I shouldn't run into that many issues. You know, I was using the Lumix G9 as a second body before, and that camera had a lot of focusing issues, and so far out of all the weddings that I've shot, no one has really complained about the quality of the images that they were able to get from me. So I think this camera will do a lot better, and eventually in the future the plan is to transition either to the Canon R6 Mark II or maybe to an R5, but we'll see. So far that is my quick review slash bird photography test with the Canon R7 and the Tamron 100 or 400. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave your opinion, your comments, any suggestions you might have on the comment section of this video. If you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos. Actually, in the future, I plan on uploading more content where I do more educational videos when it comes to photography. I have been doing this for about 9 years now, and I think it's time for me to start sharing some of the experience and the knowledge that I have acquired over all that time. So stay tuned for more videos when it comes to off-camera flash and other videos related to photography, and some related to videography. In fact, if you want to check some of my previous work, you can check out my Instagram page, and I'll link it in the description of this video. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.